Hi, this is Belle from PokerRailbird.com, home of poker tools, not poker rules. Welcome to our final video in this series, The Most Common Mistakes Made in Poker. Today's video is on the importance of position and how it can impact your win rate. Before we begin, what do you think the 3 biggest mistakes are that cash game Texas Hold'em players make? Leave your responses in the comments section below. Now, let's get right to it. First off, let's ensure we are all on the same page. The 3 primary positions are early, middle, and late, each defined by their relative position to the dealer button. Here's a breakdown of what each position means. Early position. These are the players who act first after the blinds. This includes the seats immediately to the left of the big blind and up to the first 3 seats. Early position is disadvantageous because these players must act before most of the table has done so, requiring tighter play with stronger starting hands due to limited information about other players' actions. Middle position. These players act after the early but before the late positions. Middle position includes up to 3 seats after the early positions. It is more advantageous than the early position as players have more information about the early position's actions. These players afford to play a wider range of hands compared to the early position, but still requires caution. Late position. The players who act last in the betting round. This includes the cutoff, the seat directly to the right of the dealer button, and the button. Obviously, this is the most advantageous position as these players have the most information about the other player's actions. It allows for a broader range of hands to be played more aggressively. It provides opportunities for strategic moves like stealing the blinds and applying pressure on opponents. Understanding these positions is critical for developing a sound poker strategy, as they influence decisions about which hands to play and how to play them. Poker is situational, and as such there are other factors to consider as it regards what hands you may play from a positional standpoint. One of those is the type of game you're playing, whether it is loose, passive, or tight, aggressive, or something in between. It can significantly influence the range of hands you should play from early position in Texas Hold'em. Here's how. In a loose, passive game, players tend to call a lot and don't raise or re-raise frequently. So you can afford to play a slightly wider range of hands from early position because you are less likely to face aggressive raises and re-raises. Medium pairs, hands like pocket 8s, 7s, and 6s, can be played profitably as you are likely to see a cheaper flop. Suited connectors, hands like 9-8 suited and 8-7 suited may be considered, especially if you can enter the pot without a large raise. Broadway hands, hands such as King-Queen and King-Jack suited become more playable as the likelihood of facing heavy pre-flop aggression is lower. Post-flop play. Since the game is passive, you can take control with bets and raises on favorable flops. This can compensate for the weaker starting hand range. On the other hand, in a tight aggressive game, players are more selective with their hands and raise or re-raise frequently. The following considerations apply in a tight aggressive game. Narrower range of hands, you should tighten your starting hand range in early position to avoid facing strong raises and re-raises. Stick to hands such as pocket aces, kings, queens, and ace-king, which can withstand pressure and are often ahead of an opponent's range. Hands like ace-queen and ace-jack suited are still playable, but should be played with caution if facing significant aggression. Since opponents are more aggressive and observant, bluffing becomes riskier. Play hands that have strong post-flop potential. Be prepared for tough post-flop decisions. Tight, aggressive players are more likely to put you to the test, so ensure your hand strength justifies continued play. Understanding the dynamics of the game type allows you to adjust your early position, starting hand range, and strategy accordingly. Middle position offers a bit more flexibility compared to early position, but your strategy should still adapt to the overall game dynamics. In a loose passive game, you can expand your starting hand range since you are less likely to face aggressive raises. Hands like pocket 7s, 6s, and even 5s may be played profitably. Suited connectors and one-gappers become more viable as you can see flops cheaply. Broadway hands, King-Queen, King-Jack suited, Queen-Jack suited, and even Jack-10 suited are strong enough to be played and can often hit strong flops. Take advantage of passive players by betting and raising when you have a strong hand or a good draw. You can extract value from weaker hands and control the pot. Even in a tight, aggressive game, you can expand your holdings from middle position, although you must proceed cautiously. Hands like pocket 10s, 9s, and 8s are strong enough to play, but should be played with caution if facing aggression. Broadway hands are playable, but be prepared to fold if you encounter significant resistance. Suited connectors can be considered, however be ready to fold if the pot gets too expensive pre-flop. 1, 2, or 3 gappers most likely should not be considered. In middle position, the game type significantly impacts your hand selection and strategy. In loose passive games, you can widen your range and exploit the passivity of your opponents. In tight, aggressive games, you should tighten your range and play more cautiously but strategically, leveraging your position to make informed, aggressive moves. Adapt your strategy based on the behavior of your opponents to maximize your advantage from middle position. Then there is late position, the cutoff and the holy grail of poker, praise to the button. These positions are the most advantageous due to the ability to act last post-flop, allowing for a more flexible and aggressive approach. In a loose passive game, players call frequently and raise or re-raise infrequently, allowing us to play a broad spectrum of hands with little fear of being raised or re-raised. Suited connectors as low as 5-4 can be played, as well as suited 1 gappers. Broadway hands, suited or not suited, are playable, as well as all pocket pairs. Offsuit hands such as King-Queen, King-Jack, and Jack-10 also have good drawing potential. Utilize your positional advantage to control the action. Bet and raise more frequently to extract value from passive players and to take down pots without showdown. In a tight, aggressive game, although you can still greatly expand your range, you must be prepared to face more aggression and adjust accordingly. Strong Broadway hands, suited connectors, 1 gappers, and small pairs are vulnerable and must be assessed based to the aggressiveness of the other player. Remember, position doesn't enhance your hand strength, it merely allows you to see the action in front of you before making a decision. From the button and cutoff positions, the game type influences your hand selection and strategy significantly. In loose passive games, you can play a wide range of hands and use your positional advantage to control the pot and extract value. In tight, aggressive games, while you still have the flexibility of position, you should be more selective with your hand choices and be prepared for more aggressive play from your opponents. Adjusting your strategy based on the game type allows you to maximize your advantage from these premium positions. In Texas Hold'em, understanding the importance of position can be the key to transforming your game. As we've explored, position isn't just about where you sit at the table, it's about the power and leverage you have during a hand. Playing in late position allows you to gather more information, control the pot size, and make more informed decisions. Early position, while more challenging, can still be navigated successfully with careful strategy and a solid understanding of hand ranges. It's also crucial to remember that the type of game you're in, whether it's loose passive, tight aggressive, loose aggressive, or tight passive, has a significant impact on how you should play from any given position. Adapting your strategy based on the overall table dynamics is essential for maximizing your advantage and minimizing your risks. By prioritizing position in your gameplay, you'll find yourself making more profitable decisions and, ultimately, winning more hands. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And check out our blog at PokerRailbird.com for more in-depth poker strategies and tips. Until next time, this is Belle. We'll see you at the tables. Good luck and take care.